Last year, I made a radical change that I've got to share with you because it's pretty rare that I make such a big shift all at once. And it's not just me, like all the double stackers have made this shift too. We're all on board. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Lee Blue. I'm the founder of DoubleStack, which is my mentoring program where I personally mentor some of today's top earning web designers. And not only me, but all of the double stackers, we're all doing this new thing. I got to share with you what it is. It's really crazy. I can't even believe we're doing it hardly. I mean, it really represents a huge shift in my thinking and kind of the times that we're in today. But before I tell you what it is, let me ask you a couple of questions so that you can see this context. Because once you see the context, I think it might change your mind. It might not change your mind, but if it doesn't change your mind, you'll probably at least have a new realization. Let's just say that. Fair enough? So here's what it is. So here are the questions. What percentage of your leads that you get for web design and marketing, what percentage of those leads come through your website? 10%, 50%, 90%, 100%? What percent for your business? What percent of your leads come through your website? Put that number in your back pocket. The next question is, what percentage of your leads come through in-person interactions, referrals, networking groups, BNI groups, partnerships, friends, stuff like that? So we got your website, we've got in-person. So what percentage of your leads come through your website? What percentage of your leads come through in-person? For me, pretty much through the entire life of my entire agency, I would say 90% of the people that I work with have some sort of in-person relationship connection, referrals, partnerships, friends, just in-person stuff that probably haven't even seen my website ever at all. They just work with me without ever looking at my website. And I would say probably less than 10% of my actual clients come through my website. Okay, so in terms of leads, 10% website, 90% in-person. Now, what about the time you spend? How much time do you spend tinkering around and stressing out over your website? How many pages do you need? What should you say on each page? What should the design look like? What should the pricing be? What packages should you list? Should you even list your packages and pricing? Like what all that stuff, all like your portfolio and everything, spending time building like demo sites. If you're starting up a new agency, I talk to thousands of web designers through DoubleStack and everything. And it's very common for me to talk to people who will say, well, I don't want to go out and do any marketing yet because I don't have any sites in my portfolio. I'm going to go ahead and like spend tons of time building like demonstration sites, so not even real client sites, just so I have something in my portfolio. So like all this time and energy and effort and stress, like I would say probably 100% in the beginning of the energy and stress goes into building the website, even though I know 90% of the leads are going to come through in-person interactions. So then I'll say, well, are you doing anything in person? And then most people will say, I get all of my leads through referrals, but I don't do anything to foster the referrals. I don't know what to do. Like, how do I get more people to send me more leads? I just basically say I'm here and hope people send me the leads. Like, it's very difficult. And I agree, it's really hard. Like, what are you supposed to do to get more people to send more people your way as a referral? It's very challenging to do that. I've tried almost every way that I can think of. I've tried partnerships, affiliate programs. I've tried paying people just to like send leads my way, and I would give them a commission, like all kinds of things. And it's just really, really hard. And I can't believe that we've gotten to this point. But last year, about 6 months ago, I just gave up. I was like, I'm not going to run an agency site anymore. So I don't have an agency website anymore. I still have a website, but it's not an agency website. I have a website, it's basically a community website, because I focus mostly on local leads, like probably within like a 50-mile radius, maybe less, maybe more like a 20-mile radius from where I live. And it's just local businesses in my area. And I have a community website where I can feature these businesses. And so that's my community thing. When I joined the Chamber of Commerce, I joined under my community website, not my agency name. And I've actually gotten leads. In fact, the description on my Chamber of Commerce listing on their website, instead for my business description, I just said, I introduce local businesses to the entire community for free. If you want to have a spotlight, give me a call and we'll do an interview for you so we can get the information for the spotlight. So basically, I spotlight local businesses and post them online. And that's how I meet people, because that allows me to have a website so people can see that I can build a website. It looks really cool. But more important than that, it puts me in touch with tons of local business owners. In fact, I have an entire course, like a little mini course demonstrating this whole thing. I'll put a link in the description. I call this local legends. When I spotlight these local businesses, I call that local legends. So if you want to see the whole little mini course on how that works, I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out. But here's the point. Like, even if you don't want to do the local legends thing, the point is, why spend 90 plus, maybe 100% of your effort on your website and 0% or maybe 10% of your effort on in person when the actual leads are like the inverse of that? Like 90% of your leads come through in person, 10% online. So then the question comes, well, what do I do? If I'm posting stuff on my website, one of the major problems with posting packages and pricing and all of your details on the website is because it's too expensive for people to buy online. So the cheapest thing that I offer is $5,000. The most expensive thing that I offer, unless you get into some more custom stuff, is $20,000. So like my package ranges from $5,000 to $20,000. The average one's $10,000. So if I put a $10,000 marketing package on my website and someone finds my website, they've never met me before because they just found my website, they're never going to spend $10,000 online. Nobody's going to click buy now on that. In fact, they're probably not even going to click call me or get a free estimate or anything like that because it's too much. It's too much too fast. They don't know me. They're going to be like, why do I have to spend $10,000 on a website? That's crazy. And because it's not a website, it's an entire online marketing package for local businesses. That's why it costs $10,000. And it's spread out over the year. So it's not you don't write a $10,000 check all at once. You spread it out over the years, like $875 per month, which is like $10,500 per year. And I think there's a $2,000 setup. So it ends up being like $12,500 if you really add up all the numbers and stuff. But the point is, that is way, way too much for people to just click, yeah, let's get started on that. It's too much because they're going to want to talk to me first, right? So if I know they're going to want to talk to me first, why would I try to use my website to sell websites or to sell marketing packages? So I deleted my website, right? So that's the reason why, because I want people to talk to me. I want to sell the websites. I don't want referrals to sell my websites, although if I get a referral, I'm happy about it. I don't want to rely on other people selling my stuff for me. Like my main thing is, in fact, out of all the things that I recommend, this is one of the strongest ones. I strongly recommend not outsourcing your sales to anyone other than you. Like, don't outsource it to the networking group. Don't outsource it to the Chamber of Commerce. Don't outsource it to your own website. Don't outsource it to affiliate partners. All of those things are fine, but I wouldn't make your primary source of lead generation outsourced to something else. All of that other stuff should just be icing on the cake. The most important part of running your own business, I don't even care what kind of business it is, but especially for ours, for web design businesses, and I don't even consider us to be a web design business anymore. I consider us to be a local marketing business, and part of the package includes a website. So that's another shift. We'll talk about that in another video. But if that's the deal, then don't outsource your lead generation. Like, you should be able to get your own leads. And not only that, but you should be able to sort of throttle how fast the leads come in. So like, if you're really busy, you can throttle it down so you only get a few. If you need some more work, throttle it up. So the difference between freelancing and owning a business is this exact thing. Can you turn the knob up and down on your own lead generation or not? And if not, you're probably not really running a business. In fact, this is the trap that I caught myself in about a decade ago, maybe a little bit more than a decade ago. I realized that I was giving myself the short end of both sticks when it comes to the way I was running my agency, because I would not go out and get a full-time job working for someone else's agency because I thought, hey, I want to run my own business, right? I want to be my own boss. I want to do my own thing. I want to be a business owner. So I wouldn't get hired as an employee, but I also had no way of getting my own leads. And so I was relying on like referrals and partnerships, overflow work from other agencies. Like, I wanted other people to do the sales work and then hand me the projects, like just put the projects on my plate and I would do them kind of behind the scenes, where the end client never even knew that I was doing it. They just assumed they were working directly with the agency partnership that I had, and then they were just outsourcing the web design to me. And here's why that was so stupid. It was stupid because if I had just gone to be an employee, I would have gotten paid vacation, health insurance, like all these perks for being part of an employee, being an employee as part of a business. But I didn't do that, so I wasn't getting all of that. But I wasn't getting any of the benefits of my own business either. Like, I didn't have any like profit margin to speak of. I couldn't really scale. I wasn't building a business. I was acting like an employee, without getting any of the benefits of that, which is crazy. It's like, what, like, and so I realized, like, why in the world am I doing this to myself? I need to do one of two things. I either need to go become an employee so I can get the 401k, the paid vacation, the health benefits, like all of that stuff, or I need to figure out how to get my own clients so I can actually build a business and scale it, increase my profit margins, control my lead flow, all of that stuff. So with the entrepreneurial heart in myself, I decided, well, I don't really want to do the employee thing, and I had to figure out how to get my own clients. And that's the biggest thing. Like, it's just so huge. And then today, especially even like six months ago, when I deleted my agency site and said, I don't even think it's necessary to have an agency site at all anymore, it was because of this realization of like 10%, 90%. Like 10% of the people who discover me come through the website, 90% come through in-person relationships. But my effort was 90% online, 10% in person. And now I've been able to kind of merge it all together so that I still have a community website. I still reach out to people. But here's the thing. When I reach out to people, I'm reaching out with a small favor. I call this small favor marketing. I talk about this all the time. And local legends is one form, and I think the best form of small favor marketing, but it's not the only one. There's so many things that you can do as small favors to get people talking to you so that you can be the dude doing the selling. Like, you can be the guy selling things to people. And when I say selling, I'm not even talking about like high pressure sales and you trying to persuade people of things. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, hey, I got some stuff that I can help you with. If you would like the help, just let me know. I can get started. That's what I'm just it's almost like I call it like serving or telling, or it's something like, I don't really feel like it's like traditional marketing sales tactics or whatever. And so here's how it works. So the small favor marketing, just find one thing that you can do that is a benefit to the person that you're talking to the local business that you're talking to. And I've noticed that the best small favors are the ones that have something to do with visibility. There's others. We've tried a Google review app before. I've talked about that a few times on YouTube. That works great. You know, like I have a little mobile app that people can use to like invite their customers to write reviews for them. And that's a great small favor. It's got a really high conversion rate, but it's not as high as the visibility, like the promotional small favors. So let me give you a couple examples of promotional small favors, and you can try any of them. Just like pick one and go with it for a month. Just try it for a couple of weeks. And I think that you will persuade yourself that this is a much better way to get actual leads than trying to invest a ton of time into building an agency website. So local legends, that's the one. So I'll put a link to the training for the local legends if you want to check that out. Another one, raffles and giveaways. So you can walk around to different local businesses and say, hey, do you want to contribute something to a raffle or a giveaway that we're going to do? And then promote the raffle in the community, get people to register with their email addresses. Or, I mean, like if you're doing, if you're on WordPress, you can use Raffle Press, for example. There's, I think King Sumo or whatever. No, there's some other one. The one that we use is Raffle Press. But like the more times people like enter their email address and like your posts on Facebook and just like social media stuff, the more entries they get into the raffle, and then somebody wins something, and then you can go give them the prize, and the prize is sponsored by a local business, and you can have local businesses kind of sponsor prizes every week if you want to, and that gets you talking to these businesses, and they're getting promoted throughout this whole raffle. So that's a huge one. Scavenger hunts is another great one. So it's a little bit harder to orchestrate a scavenger hunt. So this is something you probably wouldn't do weekly, maybe something more like quarterly. So I'll give you some examples of scavenger type hunts. We did Easter egg hunts. We call it, one of the DoubleStackers did one. It's called the Golden Egg Hunt. And he basically went around to a dozen local businesses. So they had 12 eggs, and each business would sponsor an egg for $200. They'd put a $100 kind of Visa gift card. They didn't put the actual gift card in the egg, but it's like a little token inside of this little plastic egg. It looked like a golden egg. And you would hide the eggs all around town and then do social media posts to show people, give people hints as to where the eggs might be. And then when people found the egg, then you would go out and give them the $100 Visa gift card, which was funded by the local business that was sponsoring it. And then the other $100 just went to like promoting the campaign, running Facebook ads to let people know that you're doing the scavenger hunt and stuff. But then what a great idea. It's like, because now you're going around all these businesses, see if they want to participate in the scavenger hunt, and you're like saying, you know, Ace Hardware, whatever the local business is, like Hutchins Mechanical, I think was one. these guys are promoting this egg. They're great. If you ever need anybody to help with their HVAC system, these are the guys to go to. They sponsored this egg. Here's a hint as to where it's hidden. And you just kind of keep promoting that local business throughout all the hints. And then finally somebody gets the egg, and then you go give them the Hutchins Mechanical Visa gift card, and then you move on to the next egg. Do that a dozen times. It's super fun. It's awesome. Everybody gets to know you. You get to take pictures with people and share them on social media. It's awesome. It's like so exciting, and it's all in-person stuff. So that's another example. And you can do it seasonally. So you can do Easter egg hunts. You can do like the hidden stocking, I think was one that one of the DoubleStackers did. That was for like the winter or Christmas time. Then there was like when springtime rolls around, I think somebody did find the pool noodles. And so they, those big like Nerfy looking pool noodles, people would hide those around town, and then people would find the noodle and win the awards, just like with the Easter egg hunts. It's like lots of cool ways to like interact with businesses. But that's not even all of it. So it's like if that's a little bit more like intense, like you have to like do some pretty meaningful like interactions with people with that. So if you didn't want to do something quite that intense, you could do things like video shout outs, where you just go to a local business, bring your phone. I'll show you what I got. This is not a promotion. I just got an upgrade for this, but I bought this thing. This is like what is it, the Hollyland Lark M2, if you can see that. So like they don't sponsor this or anything, but it's a really cool micro. These little things right here are microphones. And you can just kind of, I haven't even opened this box yet. I'm so excited about this. So it's, you just kind of magnetically snatch those onto your shirt. It plugs into the back of your phone, and now you got clean audio, great video with just your phone, and you can just go out and do like a vlog style interview where you just meet up with different local businesses and then start posting that stuff online. So that's really cool. You can host a community podcast, which is another idea that I'm exploring right now. I haven't done a podcast yet like this, but I think it's a great idea. I know a bunch of people who are doing podcasts, and you just invite business owners, and it's not only business. You can invite anybody you want to come into the podcast. Like maybe a local band is going to play somewhere. Bring the band onto the podcast, and then also promote the venue where they're playing. So like all kinds of great stuff that you can do with the podcast. Man on the street business trivia. This is another, I'm probably going to do this one too. I really like this idea, where you interview local businesses to get some trivia about their business, and then go out on the street and then interview people and then see if they can answer the local business trivia questions. And then if they do, then maybe they win a gift card or something like that, or some kind of a prize sponsored by that business. So I think that would be really fun, right? But all of these ideas are things that get like that in-person interaction. Like invest the time in the in-person stuff, because now you're going to get these relationships, and in the process of doing that, you're going to have all these great conversations with business owners. And then when the business owners call you, then you can offer to do more promotion for them, not just this kind of small favor promotion, but like an actual marketing package. So So I'm not saying to do all of this stuff for free forever. Like everything that I'm talking about with the small favor marketing is lead generation stuff, so that you can talk to the businesses. So once the business owner talks to you, then you can say, hey, why don't we help you out with your website, your Google profile, your email marketing, your social media posts, like all the stuff, right? Like we have a whole package for all of these things that these local business owners can get. That's way too much detail for this video. This video is already getting long. We'll do another video for stuff like that. But like that's the gist of it, right? So you have this in-person interaction, local businesses start talking to you, and that gives you this great fun way to interact with people. And even when you go to networking events and people ask what you do, you've got this really exciting answer where you can even invite the people who are talking to you in the networking group to be featured in one of these small favor ideas that we just talked about. So it's so much better than just trying to like talk about yourself in this really awkward, self-centered way all the time. And even when you get to introduce yourself, do you ever go to these networking events where you get like that little 30-second commercial in the beginning where you kind of introduce yourself? Say that you're doing this stuff, everybody will start leaning in and listening to what you're doing. It's awesome. So I want to end this with one last thing, and I could do a more detailed video about this in a minute. But here's the other big thing behind all of this. When the business owners start calling you, don't say, what do you want me to do for you? You see what I'm saying? Like, don't say that anymore, because they're never going to ask you for the right stuff. It's like, you need to show up with leadership and authority by knowing what they need to be doing. And so for the past 8 years, so I've been running DoubleStack now for 8 years. I've been running my own agency for 20 some years, since 2002. But specifically for the last 8 years, we have been collecting data from all over the country in all different local industries and bringing that together to figure out what is the best package that we could offer these local businesses. And we've come up with this thing, we call it the Local Authority Blueprint. And it's like a collection of like tons of services and stuff. So when a business owner calls me, I'll look to see if they're doing the right things, because it's so common now for like, if I said, hey, do you want me to help you with your website? Almost all business owners are gonna be like, yeah, we already have a website. I don't need any help with the website. But it's not about whether or not you have the website or not. It's, are you doing anything to generate leads from all the stuff that you're working with online? It's not just your website. It's your Google business profile. It's your Facebook page. It's your email list and your website. It's tons of stuff, right? So like, I want to know if they're doing something with it rather than if they just have. Is it sort of like if I said, do you have a treadmill? And you said, yeah, I've got a treadmill, but is it working like a clothing rack where you just like got clothes all over it? Or do you actually use it? Because if you're not using it, you're not going to get the health benefits from the treadmill. In the same way, if you just have a website, but it basically has clothes all over it and you're not using it for anything, you're not going to get the benefits from the website. So when I'm talking to these business owners, it's really important for me not to even dive into the technical details and talk about WordPress and plugins and all that stuff. I just want to say, here's how you use it. Like, here are the things that you need to be doing to get more traffic and to turn that traffic into sales. So if you're interested in that, check out this next video, because AI services are beginning to get more popular, but not all of the AI services seem to appeal to local business owners. So, and another thing that's really crazy about AI is you can't usually start with the AI services. It usually starts with something more core, more fundamental. So check this out if you want to see the AI services that local businesses are going to be buying in 2026, or if you want to check out our local lessons training, check that out up there. All right, I'll catch you soon.